happening again. It seems like it happens every fall. I don't know what it is about the male community that every time there's a Taurus moon or a Virgo moon, these men, they will not stop harvesting the energy of women. This is every single fall and winter. The masculine energy do not want to deal with that they wasted money, that their harvest didn't bring in much. So they start harvesting the knowledge and energy of women. These men are doing it again. They are trolling these apps, harvesting the intuitive download knowledge of women. I'm telling you no lie. Women, y'all better start paying attention to the energy of these men out here. If these men are not in stoic, humble energy, then they're probably harvesting a woman's energy, and it's making them arrogant because they know that they will get crumbs because they're using a woman. The original high priestess were women. The first high priestess in Egypt were women. So these men are using women to find out what downloads they should be putting out there. This is why women need to think twice about becoming entrepreneurs. We just need to, I think women need to just let the men arm wrestle with each other for the crumbs on these apps. And I'm so sick and tired of these false sense synchronicities. The men sitting up here saying, "Oh, suddenly I'm synchronized," and I'm like, "No, you're not synchronized. You're masculine energy. You would not be synchronized with a woman. You would be synchronized with other men. If a man is synchronized with a woman, it's because he's been harvesting her energy and upping her energy. The creator puts goldfish with goldfish, whales with whales, dolphins with dolphins, female dolphins with female dolphins, male elephants with male elephants in synchronicity. So these men trying to fake and say, "Oh, I'm synchronized. I'm seeing," oh no, you're watching women. You're watching women trolling the frequency of women on these apps and then repeating things they're saying and then acting like you're tapped in the same frequency as them. Men are forcing synchronicity with women they know are favored. That's what they're doing. And they've been doing this since the beginning of time, literally. These men who are into having multiple women, not about getting married, not about settling down. When they harvest the energy of innocent celibate women and virgin women. They troll these apps for celibate women energy. And we know the celibate women energy because the celibate women energy do not speak in past tense. Celibate women energy are future seers. They are prophets. And these men are harvesting the energy of prophetic women. They're watching to see the reaction of the society. They're watching to see if people are telling the prophetic women that they're right on time, that they needed the download, and then they're running off with part of the download and acting like they got the same frequency when they don't. And this happens every Virgo Taurus moon. This is why y'all haven't been on video as much. I ain't been doing videos every day publicly. And why I made a lot of videos private over the last 2 weeks. So these men will stop trying to use prophetic women to get out their karma. I seen some men on this app in gratitude energy in the desert. And what did they do? They started repeating some stuff that I heard prophetic women say. I would see the prophetic women videos, and then a day or two later, these men will be recommended to me too, saying the same stuff. The way these men are just like trying to get the dessert, trying to steal the dessert from prophetic women. Like, oh, because they can't get the buffet, they gonna show up a day or two later so it don't seem like they doing it. I'm telling y'all, women, y'all need to shut y'all mouth with a lot of y'all knowledge being public. If you're a very prophetic woman like me, y'all better fall back, because they're looking they're looking these men are looking to see if you are in the middle of a breakthrough. As soon as they sense it, soon as they can sense, demonic men can sense when you're celibate. When they can sense that, they already know that you probably doing something that's going to be abundant. So that's why they hang around and watch and lurk and spy and wait for the opportunity to take some of that knowledge and spread it on. Now, y'all know darn well, okay, y'all know darn well that I was on here talking about recently. It just happened to me. And I was on here talking about, just like I said, stop counting your calories. I said, just eat less food. That's what I said in my one video. I said, just eat less food. That's it. You'll reach your goal eventually. Now, these fitness guys are saying this. They just switched up. It's the same dudes that keep coming in my news feed. The same dudes that was watching me last year, they're watching me this year. Now, these dudes was all talking about all these different diets, sugar diet, high fat diet, all this other stuff. Okay? I'm a big believer. I'm a big believer of eating your protein first, and eating some fat is optional, and just eat less food. That's it. That's it. Inch your way down. Okay? Inch your way down. Here's what happens when you eat less food. Okay? Your body, your stomach shrinks peacefully. There's no trauma. So every time you eat less food, your stomach shrinks. Then at the new shrinkage of your stomach, it'll say eat less food. So at some point, you won't have to force yourself to be in a calorie maintenance. Your stomach will accept eating less food. It'll just come natural to you. Your stomach shrinking slowly will gradually approve energetically of you giving it less food. It'll be disciplined. The first few weeks of eating less food is a little hard because your body's not used to it. But after a couple of weeks, your body's like, oh, okay, cool. Okay, this is why I say eating less food makes it more likely that you'll get off all the weight. Okay, it's not about how little you eat. It's not about the size of the calorie deficit. It's about just always staying under your maintenance. So, if you ate 100 less calories than last week, you're still under your maintenance. You might only lost a half an inch in a couple days, but your body is getting used to losing weight. So eventually it's going to actually prefer even less food. At some point, it's going to make you eat even less food. So you're going to find that eating in a 400 calorie deficit to be super easy at some point without you even trying. You may even have to remind yourself to eat. That's just how abundant it is, just eating under your calorie maintenance. Not a certain amount. Just keeping it under the maintenance. Now, I didn't say that, y'all. I didn't say that, okay? Now, I'm going to tell y'all why I'm saying this. Let me finish. The reason why it's important to do that is because your body will do recomp. Your body will peacefully put on muscle and lose fat. You will not lose any muscle. even if you reach a point where you're fat jacked, okay, where you're just chubby fat jacked, that's better than being fat, okay? That's better than being fat. So when you get to the fat, when you get to the fat jack stage, you're close to your body weight set point. Now they talk about body weight set point, but body weight set point is actually the set point in which your body starts to feel like it has to store fat. It's the weight that your ancestors would have been at in the wintertime, to in case they didn't have much food. So if you just eat right under your maintenance, you can get through the body weight set point without any type of craving or hunger moments. That's how our ancestors did it. If they was at their body weight set point, which was maybe 40 pounds overweight in the wintertime, to get them through the winter of having a little bit of not having much food to eat. If they still had 30 pounds to lose in the spring, it was easy because they were only eating right under their maintenance. So that winter fat would not make them crave. They wouldn't feel starved. Now, like I said, I could break it down because my ancestors talked to me. I could break it down how they did it. Okay? They normally got a little fat by midsummer and mid-fall. Okay? And then that would last them, that fat would last them all the way through the rest of the winter. And then they would start to release the fat come February and March. And March, by the end of March, they would be into starting to gather like wood and things to build their new villages and stuff, and doing some traveling and all of that. And that would make them lose a little bit more weight. And then by spring, they would be back down to their healthy weight. Okay? Their healthy weight. At least in the middle range of it. So they might have been 150 or 160 pounds instead of their body weight set point at 190. Now, this is why y'all need not to beat yourself up. If you happen to get fat, if you happen to put on like 40 pounds, like in the middle of summer all the way through fall, that's actually normal. Your body genetics is acting the way it would act if you were still living in the woods indigenous. Okay? So if you don't want to be real fat in the spring, it means through winter you gradually decrease your calories. You eat right under your maintenance. You check your maintenance every month so you know that you're still eating under your maintenance. Hi, everybody. Now, I broke this down, okay? I broke this down. Now, I didn't break it down like this before. But now, y'all know I told y'all about the one dude. His name began with C. Now he's doing a whole series telling everybody, just eat right under your maintenance. Just eat less food. He don't even know why he's telling people this. He's just repeating what I said in my last video. But I literally have explained to y'all why you should just eat under your maintenance. Every month, check your maintenance level. Or every other week. Normally bi-weekly, you check it. You say, oh, now I'm 180 pounds. Oh, okay, this week I'm going to eat 1,700 calories only and 1,600 calories only. You know, only 100 under my maintenance. And then you check in 2 more weeks and you go, oh, I'm 175 pounds now. I'm going to eat 165. I'm going to eat 1,600 calories instead. So you're just constantly right under your maintenance. And then you may throw in a day where it's a spiritual day and you just drink all mineral water. Our ancestors did not water fast. Okay, I don't know where that came from. My ancestors is talking to me right now. They said no. What they did was a mineral fast. Okay, which was what that guy did who was weighing 300 pounds. All he did was a mineral fast. He put the minerals in his water. So drinking water, doing a water fast is actually a form of, it would be a torture that they would use on bad guys because there's no minerals in it. So stop calling it a water fast, call it a mineral fast, which means you can actually take your vitamins and crush it up and put it in your water and drink it like that. Okay? Now, how you know the prophetic women from the false prophet dudes is prophetic women can always answer the question, why? The prophetic dudes, they don't want to answer the question why, because if they do, then they'll everybody will know that they're really harvesting a woman. Okay? They can't go but so deep into an Akashic record. A man is a guardian of the record. He is not normally the receiver of the record. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of people saying men are the prophets. No, they're not. They are the guardians. They are the deliverer. They would be someone that would pass out copies, records, stone pieces of it, but they were not the receiver of the downloads. The men who are saying they're receivers, they are tapping into feminine energy. I'm telling y'all no lie. And they are synchronizing their frequency with prophetic high priestesses. And they are using YouTube and they are using TikTok and Substack. If you don't believe me, one of these days, prophetic women, just go talking to a man out here and see if they got, see, and say, hey, what you getting? You got downloads coming to you, see, and ask them, are you a masculine man? Are you a heterosexual dude? I bet you any money they won't be able to just like get downloads like that. Like you will notice that they're trying to match your frequency if you pay attention to the energy flow. Why do you think why do you think in certain cultures, even in the Jewish religion, the women are hidden away? The women are hidden away because they know that a woman's energy alone is so intuitive that somebody can literally get their family Akashic records by just being in her energy. Okay? This is why you gotta pray. If you get, I'm not saying men don't have a purpose. What I'm saying, women, if you have a daughter, tell your daughter to stop running her mouth. Like, I'm serious. Women, women get downloads to free people. I know people don't want to hear this, but the angels who are of freedom, they are of feminine energy. They are of feminine energy, giving wisdom and answers to unlock people out of spiritual purgatory and give people clarity. One of the movies that show a prime example of what man is meant for is the Book of Eli with Denzel Washington. Notice how he was protecting the book. He was delivering the book. He never said he wrote the book. But I'm getting tired of women not setting up enough energy boundaries where they're like, no, I don't know what kind of man you are, so you can't touch me. Because touching me means I'm gifting you. Men are the vote, women are the product that goes in the vote. This is why women, you have to choose your man carefully. Your man friends carefully. Stop letting these men hug you and touch you out in these streets where you don't know what their energy is. I've had men try to read me and they couldn't. And I could sense it. And when they got desperate, they offered to kiss my hand. I'm like, okay, you want to get in my energy that bad when you know I haven't chosen you. as my king. So I really shouldn't be letting you get these gifts for free. And I know this is going to rub some men the wrong way, but there's some men on this channel who have recognized, okay, a man can only extend on your record once you give them the record and they get in touch with your frequency. Why do you think there's men that will say to women, I can't make it without you? I don't know what I'm going to do without you. You never hear a woman say that. You hear a man say that because they're not the air that directs the compass. They are the compass, but they're not the forces that's directing the compass. Sorry, y'all. Okay? So, these men, every time it's a Virgo moon and Taurus moon, which is investments, starting new businesses, getting businesses off the ground, products, they panic. The men that haven't saved their money, that was not doing the math. Men are supposed to be calculators of the money. They're supposed to be keeping track of the family assets. When these men are wasteful, then they find women to leech off. Men are the guardians of the product and the money, and they are the calculators of it as well. But these men are being calculating with tricking women out of the products, tricking women out of knowledge. Look at all these gurus, all these scamming gurus that are men. You don't see countless female scamming gurus. You see them as men. Master Shifu, he is a scammer monk. He's a scammer monk. He has also been harvesting my content. He's another one. What you call the one guy who does the manifesting channel? He's another one. I forget his name. And Jake Ducey, also divine timing with a prophetic empress is never late. Never. So if a man comes with knowledge, if a man put up knowledge 2 days after me, I know I got right in this moment. I know he's been leeching off a woman's energy because he's 2 days late. Okay, the moon energy and all that and cosmic energy has shifted, so there would be other lessons that would be present. So the a lot of the men who's harvesting women's energy, they are delivering records that are almost expired or about to be put back in the Akashic record room by the angels. Basically, they're snatching up the record while it's about to be put, right when it's being sent back to the Akashic record room. They're snatching up a vibration of it to get crumbs. They know that if they deliver the record right when the Empress delivers the record, shares the record with the community, they know that the Empress will find out. See, they're trying to avoid karma, trying to fly under the radar of the Empresses. But it's like you can't do that when you're taking from an Earth Empress. And that's what they really want to take from. They really want to take from Earth Empresses that are over 35 years old. They don't want to take from queens because they want queens. They don't want to rub the young women the wrong way, but they want to like rob someone else's empress. They're trying to rob another king. When a king robs an empress, he's robbing another king. Y'all, this is deep. Whether it's her grandfather on the other side, or father, or her husband. Yeah, I got a book that's called Women Know Everything. Women are so intuitively next level powerful that a woman could save her whole family just by opening the Bible at random every day. Literally. She will never, she cannot be wrong. If she's celibate, if she's a celibate woman, she will not be wrong when she opened that Bible. It's impossible. And the reason being is because, especially during these times, a lot of older women, they fall victim to the toy lust demon. They use a lot of toys and stuff. So when an older woman is celibate, plus she don't got a king she's sleeping with, she's extremely powerful. Her energy is not being shared with the king. So her ability to access Akashic records is super strong. So these men, they're trying to rob single empresses or empresses who are in purification period in their marriages. And what they're doing is they're also looking at your glow. Like, that's crazy. Like, oh, you're a beautiful empress. Oh, you must be favored, so I'll rob you. What gets me is that they be like, oh, I don't want an empress, but I do want her money. And it's like, you don't think you don't think that when Capricorn season comes, you're not going to get karma? Like, you don't think when retrograde comes in February, most of the time it comes, you don't think that your stuff's going to slow down? That you're going to run out of gas? See, the desert is a time for you to slow down and prioritize self-care and rest. But these kings refuse to do it. They refuse to just take it slow, whatever their next mission is, and put rest and self-care more. That's why I don't mean no harm, but a lot of the kings are looking real busted. Their faces are like old looking, even though they have muscles. They are abusing their crown chakra energy. Their crown has other people's gems in it. They will not let their crown chakra rest. They literally hate, a lot of men today literally hate having to go 1 month in the desert. They will panic and be like, let me find an empress out here. Let me find some older woman to take advantage of in the winter and fall. It's like, wow, and they don't know that it's aging them. They think that it's not. They think, oh, because I'm getting money from using these random empresses out here, I'm good. But look at you. You didn't rest. You can't steal without using your chakras. Every time you harvest energy, you use your chakras. Whether it's through sexuality or channeling someone else's energy. So by them not resting, they're not realizing that Virgo season is about minimalism. It's about big work and small work. High value in small pieces. So these dudes are looking for the best value that empresses have, and then putting little short stuff out there with the empress's best work. So they going through the empress's stuff and looking at her best work that's getting a lot of attention, and then taking little micro bites out because they are not low vibrational retrograde Virgo energy. The retrograde version of it. And they're like, oh, let me take some of it. Let me take, being a trickster. Being a manipulative magician. Just because, and they say, oh, well, this will give me a little bit, I've been in struggle energy, but it's like, no, like, you're actually supposed to be betting on new ideas, not trying to bet on what somebody else's idea. And I'm gonna tell you, the main dudes that are blocked from God, that are harvesting empresses, are the ones that are sitting up here saying, she hit the wall, attacking empresses. Okay, saying all that, attacking aging women. Them is the same. Them is the main dudes just ripping off empresses, because them is the dudes that they don't want to put out a vibration that they're crossing queens. They're trying to gather the money of an empress to impress a queen out here. But that's why their queen is not coming. That's why these men stay single. That's why these men keep on paying for prostitutes, keep on using their passports to sleep with different women in different countries and never marrying them. They're never going to, because the money that they took from the empress, it's not in a positive vibration to attract them a um a God-fearing queen. It's not going to attract one. It's going to attract a woman that's for tricks. Like, to keep it real, that's what they're going to attract with that money. And this is why people say, well, there's a lot of men lonely, because there's a lot of men who will not accept their manly position. They want the woman's position and the man's position. And it's like, no, like, y'all, it's getting out of hand where you don't know the man from the woman anymore. Like, you can't tell the difference no more. Because, and I'm not talking about LGBTQ, I'm talking about men straight up saying they heterosexual, but you still cannot tell, because they are so much trying to be the woman and the man while looking in your face and saying, I'm heterosexual. It's starting to get extremely confusing. I'm sensing, I'm sensing some other energy. Like, I'm the men that actually humble themselves and ask women questions, those are actually the true masculine men. Because in ancient Egyptian time, the men were having private meetings with their oracles and their high priestesses and getting advice, and then planning strategies around the advice that the high priestess gave. The high priestess would tell the king, I have a feeling, or I foresee that the enemy is doing this. So then the king would be like, well, I'm going to come up with a strategy or a plan that, that will protect the kingdom or whatever. They would even go to the high priestess and say, do you think this is a good time to raise the taxes? Do you think something bad is going to happen? Women literally rule karma. Karma is feminine energy. If you want to call it Scorpio energy, death, and earth energy, the earth energy of women is karma. This is why the men attack older women, they get bad karma. And the men who are trying to be like women, they're trying to be like Anubis. If you want to go in Egyptian history, Anubis was actually the guardian of the underworld, who helps people with transformation. Anubis is actually a feminine creature. These men are trying to be Anubis. They're trying to help people transform, but they're robbing the Akashic records to do it. And it's like, no. Like, if you ever really see Anubis has a small waistline. He looks eloquent. He looks graceful. Anubis is literally feminine. He even speaks in Egyptian history. Speaks graceful. Even if you went to go to the Greek mythology, the angel of transformation is feminine. Even if you went to go to the Christian Bible, the transformation angel that comes to help you with death, it is a feminine angel. That's why in the movies, to stay to the original scriptures of Christianity with the angels, the angel of death is usually portrayed as feminine, or in the movies today it's portrayed as a gay male or a queer male or a LGBTQ male, but originally it is a female angel. But these men are trying to be Anubis. That's what they're doing. They know that half the world is looking for transformation. And when they're blocked, they go to someone who is chosen to be Anubis. They find empresses who are who who are who are for perseverance, transformation, and things like that. And they just say, I'm just gonna harvest them and then parade around here. And I say, there's no way that you are. When I see these men, I say, there's no way that you are an Anubis. You're an Anubis earth angel when you're not even graceful. Like, you're cussing through your entire video. You're screaming people down in the entire video. You're not being mysterious enough. Um you're not being strong and graceful. You're just being arrogant and loud and cocky. Y'all better start checking, women. Y'all better start checking, like, is the energy matching? Is the energy matching who they claiming they are? Is their behavior matching it? Like, and here's the thing. When you're a teacher of something, that's what you teach. The fact that people are hopping around in so many subgenres under what they're teaching, it goes to show how people refuse to be in the desert, refuse to just accept it, just accept and wait until God tell you what to do to get out the desert. The download actually should come from someone who is getting out that same desert. That's who's going to have the download. Like, I noticed that some of these men, when they try to switch, the other men, the divine men, will be like, weren't you just telling everybody sugar died all the time? Like, and now you're saying this, and now you're saying that, and now you're saying this. They start to come off as fake to the divine men. You know, I said on the channel, doing all these crazy diets and all that, I said, stop doing all that, pick a diet, and that's it, and just eat right under your maintenance. Now it's like, that's the new thing on YouTube. But it's like, why did it take an empress to say this? For these men to say it? Like, I know God told me recently that we're not supposed to be going to the gym. Now, I know that people gonna argue with me about this. But the gym is supposed to be the life that we live, not the gym we go to. Okay? The gym is supposed to be the way we go through our day. There's a guy on YouTube who recently stopped going to the gym because he said he's I forget who he is. He's Asian, and I got the download. I got the download, and he got the download almost at the same time. And he be fasting a lot. He's spiritual and stuff, but he said God told him not to go to the gym no more. And I said I got that same download on the same day. But what reason why God told me is that it's vanity. Okay, when our ancestors was getting raped and fit, it was because it was just automatically naturally happening because of the life that they were leading, the work they were doing on their village and their home. It wasn't because they was like trying to actually get ripped. People don't realize that our life tells us when enough is enough. But when you go to the gym, you're not told enough is enough. Other people's energy in there could be pushing you to go harder in the gym. Mirror image may be dysmorphia and all that type of stuff going on. And because the work you did is only really for yourself, then it's not really beneficial for your life growth. See what I'm saying? Like, if it's like attached to your career and your career is to take care of your family, then maybe you could go to the gym. But what is the point when you can actually do the same gym activity with the life that you're leading? Like, why don't you go and do a sport or a fun activity that would get you in the same shape the gym would? So it makes no sense but to go to the gym. This system is set up to eat away our money slowly but surely. To make us think that we need these alternative options for longevity when we don't. You hardly ever see ripped people 95 years old. That's why it's an illusion. It's just like what you want to look like. But is it actually good for your body? Like, is it good for longevity? That's the question. Like, when you go to master anything, you have to think in terms: is this something I can I do this till I die? Can I do this even at 90 years old? Otherwise, why am I going to put the best years of my life into it? Like, I know that I can write at 95 years old. There's 85-year-old poets. Okay, there's old singers. There's old cooks. There's even old dancers. But there's really ain't like old, like 90-year-olds. It's just like got a gym at the damn nursing home. I I noticed that when I stopped thinking like I gotta go to the gym, and I just respected the fact that I'll have some days where I'm not working out and I'm just working out through what I'm doing around my house, or you know, the hills that I'm walking sometime, and just counting on that. I noticed my body getting firm, but not turning into a stone mountain, because that's harder to keep up rather than tone. Tone is easier to keep. It's gentle, more gentle on your bones. But stone body is not, especially with women. I mean, I feel we need more toned people back. We need more people adjust the maximum amount of their safe weight gain, and they just look toned walking around. We need that back, because I think we'd have more humble people. I think that the male world is slipping into some serious vanity. Like, I'm getting tired of seeing so many men more worried about their aesthetic muscles than worried about like their family. Like, you're spending 7 hours in the gym when you could have been like spending some quality time with your family. Like, it's amazing how so many people live like no one's going to die. Maybe I don't, because my parents are dead. But I wish a lot of people would realize that someone in your family or your friend circle are on their way out. Right now, they're on their way out. Their name might be before yours. It might be tomorrow. They might not wake up. My brother died in his sleep in his 40s on Christmas morning, right after reading his Bible and wrapping gifts for his disabled kids. Just sudden death. He was in the small percentage of people who die young in their sleep. He died like a baby dying of SIDS. And I had sat down to have Christmas dinner, a part of my Christmas dinner, at my daughter's dad's family, my husband's family, and then I was going to have the rest of the dinner at my sister's house. And every Christmas, my brother always sits right beside me. because me and him had a similar personality, similar sense of humor. He really enjoyed talking to me. My big brother liked talking to me. So that was wild that it was like he literally just died like that. And I talked to my mother on Valentine's Day. Hours later, she dropped dead. Just dropped dead. So when people sit up here and say, oh, I'm just worried about pushing through the desert, maybe your time in the desert is actually to appreciate your family. Maybe the creator don't want you to push through because somebody is on their way out. Somebody in your life may have a sickness they don't know they have, or they are dealing with something that could take them down. This is the realest talk, y'all. You know, sometimes you don't push through the desert because the creator is trying to remind you of how your needs are already taken care of. So why do you need to push through and get more? The creator is trying to remind you to have gratitude for the fact that you still have more than what somebody else has. You still got $100 more than somebody else in their bank account. You still got more food in your house than somebody else. You still got more home privileges than somebody else. And this is for all the entrepreneurs who want to sit up there and complain. Like, if you're getting disability and you're an entrepreneur and you're like making at least 20,000 on YouTube, you shouldn't be complaining, because there's some people that spend 8 hours a day every day and don't make that much a year, while you're sitting at home, 7 hours a day doing whatever you want, and all you did was take 1 hour to put a video up and got $15. So it's like, be grateful, you know. It's to me, it's wild that people don't see that free time is also wealth. Like, that's what the creator told me. Like, when you got free time, somebody that's willing to pick up the baggage and you're able to just work part-time with your family, you actually have more wealth than some people have. You have more time. But people are squandering it. They're like, oh no. Instead of coming up with ideas, they're like, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and harvest somebody's energy for this 2 hours out of my day, and then sit like some old toxic king or queen for the next 7 hours. And this is why some people do not like entrepreneurs. I'm keeping it real. This is why some people are irritated by online creators. The smuggish, the snobby demeanor. Like, oh, I'm so covered in favor because the online world chose me this year to make $30,000, and I get to sit around for about 8 hours a day and do nothing. So I'm special. It's like, no, the people that is willing to do the work and working 8 hours a day for what you making, they special. They got unbelievable tolerance and patience. They have unbelievable faith in God. They're working longer hours than you and making less than you, and probably doing something with integrity and morals and with ethics, and you're not. I'm trying to understand why we're in a world now where people can make money online in an unethical way without morals, and they still think that they're favored. They still think they can act cocky. It's turning people off. It's turning me off. Y'all, that's why I named this channel Unfiltered, because I call it what it is. And then there's like there's a whole nother American dream world on these apps. You know how we have the American dream world offline where people think they're better than you because the house they got and the car they got and the amount of credit that they got and how they achieved the American dream so young. Well, it's going on these apps now. There's creators who think because they got a bigger fan club that you owe them something. You're another creator that owe them. All the other creators owe them. Like they're king of the creating world on these apps. It's to me it's like operating like that one show, you know, like Gladiators, where it's like some of the creators are acting like they are like it's Roman times and stuff. And anybody that hasn't don't got a big audience, then they're a gladiator, but they are the emperor. This is why I don't think God approves of this app money making stuff anymore. And I think that the creator is starting to release these apps. These apps are starting to be cooked. But people, they, look at how so many people, creators, because they had breakthroughs on these apps, now they can sit up there and abandon their religion and abandon their morals. These people sitting here saying, I don't need a man, like some of these low vibrational queens. I don't need a man. I don't want a man. And it's like, you're only saying that because you got a viral YouTube channel and you get to sit around 8 hours a day and you know that you're racking up dough on your videos and you don't have to work a retail job. That's why you're saying that. It's so wild. I'd be like I see your views, I see your likes, I see how much money you're making. You're saying that because you think you're making enough money from these apps that you don't need a man. But what happens if these apps go bye-bye? Then what? You gonna say you need a man. You're gonna say, and then I bet you any money if a rich man showed up, you'd say you want a man then. When these women say they don't want a man, they're saying they don't want a man to make their money, that makes the same amount of money as them. That's what they're saying. Because if a man showed up and he was a millionaire, billionaire, they would say, yeah, I want a man now. Nothing reeks of opportunist female energy than a woman saying, I don't want a man, I'm just going to be alone and be at peace. No, no. That would all change if a rich man proposed to you. That would all change. And the same thing with the male energy. But I'm sick and tired of y'all. I'm telling y'all, not so many single males was supposed to be able to just get endless knowledge like this. A man is supposed to climb rank with a woman by his side. These men that's harvesting women's energy, they're not showing they got wives. They're not showing that they got women. They keep on saying they single. You single for like 7 years, but somehow you're like super knowledgeable. No, you're not. You don't have an empress. A man rises in intelligence with an empress by his side. But these men are acting like they could get to all those crazy levels of divine wisdom and everything without an empress, knowing that they are just harvesting. That's why I'm telling women, if you're an empress and you want a husband, stop giving out your stuff. Hi, Hanzee. Hanzee, stay trying to get my attention when I get on video. Bye-bye. You coming over? You gonna come? Look at Hanzee. Yeah, love you too, but did you kiss my finger? You want to kiss mommy's finger? I can't kiss your butt. Hanzee keeps giving me his butt as a gift. When cats give you their turn around and show their booty, it's to show it's telling you that they love you. That's the way they show love. Thank you. But I'm not a cat butt. I love you too, butts. Yes, I do. Y'all see him. You so spoiled. Mommy, I love you. Y'all see how my cats are. But Hanzee's a rebel. You a rebel, Hans? He bougie and rebel. You bougie and rebel. I gave you extra treats. I know that's not what you want. He just don't like me giving y'all all the attention. What you doing? You stepping on the phone? All right, boy. Mom, I love you. He did this in the last video too, y'all. Here's your butt. Thank you, Bubbuts. Hanzee's like, no, I want my mommy right now, y'all. Family first, y'all. Ain't that funny that I said that about Hanzee? I said family first. Okay, Bubbuts. Okay. Okay. He's like, let me give my mom some serotonin. Thank you for the serotonin, Bubbut. Thank you for the serotonin. Thank you, man. You give mommy serotonin. You give mama serotonin, Bubbut. He said the cutest. Y'all see how he likes to headbutt me a lot? You the headbutt cat. Yes, mama love you. Okay, y'all gotta get ready to go. Hanzee is not trying to. Every time I talk, he comes right back over. He's like, I don't want to share my mom right now. Look at him trying. Don't you. He gonna lay on his cell phone. Don't you try to turn that cell phone off. Did you see him put his face to the cell phone? What was you trying to do? Press a button on the cell phone? Look, did you see him? He tried to fake fall on my cell phone. You try to fake fall on mommy's cell phone, but look at him pushing my phone. He pushing my cell phone with his paw. Okay, I got your belly. I rub your belly. Yes. Yes, but. Oh, he smacked it. Did you see him? Did you see him smack the cell phone? Don't you smack my cell phone again, Hans. I don't want scratches on my cell phone.